Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to Lineup Predictions here at the Magpie Channel TV, where we will predict Newcastle United's team tomorrow for the 3 o'clock game away to Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium. And it's going to be a big game, which is a bit funny to say in February, isn't it still? Yeah, February. Newcastle against Brentford. It's only been played once in Premier League history, which was the game a few months ago. Going to get the stats up to see exactly when that was. Where it was Eddie Howe's first game. I remember that much being there. 20th of November. I was just looking for the month, but it says 20th of November, so accuracy here. Just going to double check that everyone can hear. Anybody there? Hello, hello. I'm not on mute. Lovely stuff. So 20th of November in the 3-3 game, Eddie Howe's first game since being appointed, but missed out due to COVID. Entertaining game at St James's Park, 3-3, 6 goals. Excellent up front, lifting at the back. Remember it well. Obviously, an exciting game. It was not too long after the takeover, like 2-3 weeks after the takeover, Eddie Howe's first game. A lot of excitement going into that game. And that was the only game in Premier League history where Newcastle have faced Brentford. So this will be their first game at the Brentford Community Stadium. We did play there, or was it their old stadium last year? We got put out by them in the FA Cup. I think it was in January, that one, wasn't it, of last year? I got put out in the cup. That was obviously it was Steve Bruce, so I don't really think anyone was surprised. Brentford were the better team on the day, but it is what it is. So where are they in the league at the moment? Had a bit of a poor time of it. 14th they are in the league, and if we win, this is why it's a big game. It's not because it's Brentford. Like nobody really cares, to be honest. They are currently 3 places ahead of us in the league, but only 2 points. That's why it's a big game, because if we win this and the other teams around us drop points, we could go up to 14th. Like not too long ago, even still, currently, we're still in a relegation scrap, sitting in 17th, only 2 points ahead of Burnley. They've got a game in hand. But yeah, we win this, we could go up to 14th. I think Leeds are in a bit of a rut at the minute. They're not doing too well, and got Tottenham, I think it is, at the weekend. Burnley's in a decent run. They just beat Tottenham last weekend. Everton's not really in the best of form, so hopefully Tottenham will beat Leeds. Let's have a look at the other fixtures. What's everybody else around us got? Norwich are playing tonight against Southampton. Leeds and Spurs is the afternoon kickoff. Burnley have Crystal Palace. What's the dog doing? Chewing something, isn't he? Get off. Yeah, Burnley's got Crystal Palace, Watford's got Man United, and Everton's got City. It's a major opportunity in our like Leeds awful form up against Tottenham, Everton awful form up against Man City, Watford at Old Trafford, Burnley against Palace. They got a good win at the weekend, 4-1 there, and Norwich against Southampton, who's in 10th. So it could all go in our favour at the moment. And Brentford, as well as the start of the season, and I have been a big fan of Brentford, even up to a couple of years ago. I wanted to see them get promoted 2 seasons ago when they got beat off Fulham in the playoff final. Buzzing that they finally got promoted last year, because it's a new team, it's a new excitement. Instead of like the yo-yo teams, like kind of like Fulham coming up every year, like the likes of Norwich, Watford, West Brom. I just like to say new teams. I just think it makes it a little bit more interesting having a new team to play against. So they started off really, really well. Thomas Frank is a brilliant manager. He's earned his stripes down in the Championship, and I think did he manage in League One before that? But hasn't been going their way lately. They've only got as much as 1 point in the last 8 games. That's as bad as it is. Last win, 2 wins in the bounce. I was looking back in January, beat Villa in the league and then Port Vale in the cup. And since then, since that Port Vale win in the cup in early January, have only mustered 1 draw. And that involved going out of the cup. So let's have a look at the results. Last outing was a 2-1 defeat to Arsenal, and then that 1 point against Crystal Palace, which was a 0-0. But they have had a pretty hard run-in, to be fair. 2-0 off City, 4-1 off Everton in the cup, Frank Lampard's first game. 2-1 against Wolves, 3-1 against Man United, 3-0 against Liverpool, and 4-1 against Southampton. So that's a 1 point in the league picked up out of a possible 21. So awful run of form for Brentford. Now could be a prime opportunity. We're in good form, unbeaten in 6. How many points have we getting out of that? That'll be 6. Is that 9 points? Let's just double check that. Is it 3 wins and... Yeah, 3 wins, 3 draws. Yes, that's 9 points for us out of our last 6 games. So, yeah, major opportunity to get something here. They have won 4 so far at home, lost 3 and drawn 2. Just going to go kill the dog. 2 seconds. Thanks. Right, so having a look at their lineup there then, and former Newcastle player who did score at St James earlier in the season, Ivan Toney, may be available. He has been a major doubt for it and is still a doubt. He is unlikely, very unlikely he will feature, but has been doing okay for them in training so here, but still a major doubt. The rest of their team news is Christian Erickson might make his debut. Thomas Frank says he will play. Whether it's from the starting 11 yet, we don't know. Could only be from the bench. Just making sure everyone else is in here. Thank you, Callum. Thank you very much. Hello, Aaron, as always. Bertie would have won it if not for Darlow. Maybe so, but the defence was shocking, to be fair. You can blame Darlow as much as you want. The defence didn't help at all. Hope he sticks with Burn and Shaw. Fingers crossed Manquillo is fit to play and Maxi as well. Yes, we all hope so. We'll get into that shortly. But yeah, sticking with them, Christian Erickson, who hasn't played obviously since the major incident at the Euros for Denmark where he had a heart attack, looked like he would never ever play again. And he's lucky. I'm over the moon for him. Like I say, I like Brentford, and everyone's now got a soft spot for Christian Erickson after everything that happened. So I'm over the moon that he's come back to the Premier League, got a second opportunity. So we'll be interested to see how he does. He's a class player on his day. Didn't really end his Premier League career too well, getting cut out of Jose Mourinho's Tottenham team. Done really, really well at Inter Milan, won the league over there with Lukaku and them lot there when they were there. But yeah, the heart attack looked like that would have been the end of his career. So he might get the start, which will be very, very interesting. The other team news, Matthias Jensen and Julien Janvier, I think that's how it's pronounced, are sidelined through injury. And Matthias Jorgensen and Tariq Fosu were big doubts coming into this game, but did play in a behind closed doors game on Monday. So getting their fitness up, so they are now back in contention. In the Newcastle's team news there, then we'll jump straight into it and see what Eddie Howe was being saying in his press conference, which Big Renty's already covered on the channel. Let's get that up then, shall we? On Alan Saint-Maximin, obviously that's the big news of this one. He says, we're going to make a late call on him. He's been away, getting intensive treatment in France, back to his home country to get some intensive treatment there. We said when he suffered the injury, it wouldn't be long-term, so we're keeping our fingers crossed for him. So that puts him slightly in contention. It's a late call. I'm sure it was it Kieran Trippier he said that against the week before? It was going to be a late call. And everyone says, don't play him. It's not worth the risk. And he did play and did pick up the injury. So even if he's fit, what do we do with him? Look at Kieran Trippier. Might not play for the rest of the season. Can we afford to do that with Saint-Maximin? I wouldn't have thought so. I think last week against West Ham, especially away, was a much, much tougher game. And I thought we absolutely dominated. Without Saint-Maximin, without Kieran Trippier, without Callum Wilson, Hayden, Ritchie, everyone else that's been sidelined. Lascelles, our captain, was on the bench. And we absolutely dominated a team pushing for the top 4. Like, the performance was outstanding. So even if he's fit, I wouldn't bother risking him, mate. I don't think it's worth it, but he is in contention. And if he is 100% fit, fantastic, because he is a key player. We could really, really do with him, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And the same can be said for Javier Manquillo, who was the other doubt coming into this game. He missed out the West Ham game last week. House says he's come through a couple training sessions this week. I wouldn't say he's 100% fit, but he's certainly getting closer to being fit and available. So that's good news with another 24 hours to go. Could be the same situation as Saint-Maximin. Could be a late call. He's getting closer to being available. He's been in training, been pictured this week. I think Wednesday, the training session pictures were released. And he looked good. So, yeah, we'll have an eye on that one. Keep fingers crossed that everything comes through there. And the other team news was Ryan Fraser. I don't know why I'm looking at the wall because it's on my notes. It's right in front of us. Ryan Fraser was the other one he picked up. And he seems like he gets injured every game, Ryan Fraser. He always seems to get kicked. He's a little pit bull and he gets himself around a bit, moves himself around, causes a bit of a bother. For the smallest player in the Premier League, he's a tough cookie. But does pick up a lot of knocks and did have to get forced off in that West Ham game. So was coming into this game as a doubt, but he will be okay, says Eddie Howe. Looks like he'll be fine. So maybe it's not a great lot of optimism in there, but he did say he will be okay. I just don't like the next bit where he says looks like he'll be fine. That's still a little bit of a question mark in my book, but hopefully, yeah, he should be absolutely fine. Going through the rest of it, what's Big Eddie been saying when addressing a bit more of the team? Did mention Big Dan Burn. He says he's fitted in really well, as has Matt Target on that left-hand side of our defence. Dan has used the ball really well. He's been composed, talked well, and has leadership qualities. Both have taken to what we've asked them to do excellently. They have defended very well, first and foremost. They have really helped our team and have been really pleased with both, which is excellent. I love what he said about his leadership qualities, because if you watched my lineup prediction for the West Ham game, I found it difficult knowing that likely one of them would be dropped between Burn, Shaw and Lascelles. My preferred one was obviously going to be Shaw and Burn, which it was. So I was happy to be wrong, but I did put in Lascelles and dropping Shaw just because I feel like there's a lack of leadership without Lascelles, without Trippier. Even Callum Wilson's wore the armband once this season. Without all of them, never really been a fan of Shelvey with the armband. Don't really feel like he's a great leader. So that was the only reason why I put Lascelles in my lineup prediction, because the lack of leadership. So to hear that people like Dan Burn are stepping up and showing great leadership qualities, it's meant because we're all questioning Lascelles. His last few games before his illness and before being substituted, he was great. He's shown some decent form. I think 3 games in a row. I know it's not a lot to go off, but and prior to that, which one was it? Was it the Watford game? The Watford game. He was lifting in that leg, wasn't he? So bit of inconsistency from Lascelles, as he has shown for a long, long time. Probably only in the starting lineup because of his leadership, because he's the captain. But now we've got the likes of Trippier and Dan Burn in the squad. It's just mint, isn't it? It's class to know that we've got more leaders in there than having to rely on the likes of Shelvey when some of our captains aren't available. He did also discuss Bruno Guimaraes, who is still looking for his first start for the club. He says he's keen to play. He's shown he's keen to play and to show what he can do to help the team. He's trained very, very well, and mentally he's in a good place. He understands that the team has been performing well and the chemistry of the midfield has been really, really good. So that's good to know that he is just sitting waiting his turn. He knows that Willock, Shelvey and Joe Linton are not performing well. He's come in. I know a lot of people say it every day on social media, people kicking off saying that he's the £40 million signing. Start him. Drop one of the others. I can't buy that. Like, he's come in. He has to prove it just because of what he's done at Lyon or previously. I don't think that earns a right to start for any team. We're going to have a defeat or a bad performance from Willock, Shelvey and Lascelles. Willock's performances week by week have been improving. I think I said last week he's only a goal missing from his performances. Once he gets a goal, like, the sky's the limit for Joe Willock. The performances that he's been putting in for the weeks prior were amazing. And then he's got his goal. So he's really, really undroppable right now. The same with Shelvey and the same with Joe Linton. Like I say, Bruno's come in and he will be a great player for us. He just needs to wait his turn. I'm not worried. I think it's a positive thing that he's sitting on the sidelines watching the English game. A lot of people come in from foreign teams and struggle in the Premier League. It's a different type of game. So bringing him on with substitute appearances, 5-10 minutes. Obviously, I'd like to see him for a bit longer, 20, 25 maybe. But sitting watching from close distance on the bench, getting a feel for the atmosphere at away grounds. My first couple of games were at home. West Ham, big stadium there, the Olympic Stadium. So I think watching from afar, waiting for an opportunity, waiting for Shelvey, Joelinton, or Willock to get a suspension or an injury, I think it's a positive thing. Of course, I'm frustrated. I want to see him. He's one marquee signing, isn't he? But got to wait your turn, unfortunately, mate. Eddie Howe did go on to say that he's an intelligent player, and I think he understands his position. We also know what's on the horizon. We have a lot of games to come. In March, we've got 4 games in 10 days with them rescheduled games. I think it was Southampton and was it Everton? Them 2 away games, Southampton and Everton, have both been rescheduled within the same week. Midweek games now, where we also have weekend fixtures. So 4 games in 10 days. That's what a squad's for. I think I probably say every week, you don't win anything with a starting 11. You have to have a squad. That's why I'm not worried that Bruno isn't playing, because I know he will, and he'll come in great. And when he does, whoever he replaces, Willock, for example, is going to have to knock on the door as well. He's going to have to fight for his position to get back into the team. The fixture congestion will be packed as the season unfolds, so he will have a lot of opportunities to cement his place in the team. Very well said, Eddie. Thank you very much. Backing up what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. He will get in. Like, as frustrating as it may be, we're winning. We're 6 games unbeaten. We're putting points on the board. We have got an opportunity to go into 14th come the weekend, which is amazing considering where we were just a few weeks ago when Eddie Howe took over. That the last time we played Brentford, we were 19th in the league. Now we could get ourselves up to 14th. So don't worry about the goddamn thing. Eddie Howe and the team have got this. And something else that I liked to hear during the week, I've been speaking about leadership. Apparently, what's he called? Kieran Trippier is requested to be a part of the team from the sidelines. Obviously, he's going to be out and potentially for the season. If not, might be back for the final few weeks. He's asked to be a part of the first team setup. He wants to be on the sidelines, which is absolute elite mentality. Can't even stress how mint that is to hear from one of your players. Obviously, I've mentioned his captain abilities. What he brings to the team as a right back changes the team from all ends. But even off the field, like the impact that he's been having on the players is mint. And now he wants to kind of put himself into a bit of a coaching role. He wants to be next to Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall on the sidelines, spurring the players on, giving the team their experience, leadership, and all of that. So this team under Eddie Howe is going places. Now we've got leaders like Trippier, like Byrne. Sky's the limit. And like I said, this win against Brentford is huge and can be for what happens going forward, especially if the results go in our favour against Leeds, Everton, Watford, Norwich, and Burnley. I'm excited. That's about it from the pre-match build-up. Going to go into the lineup prediction once I have a quick little chat with you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed or you can't take part in the live interaction. You do have to be subscribed to the channel for that. Where we're going from here. Hello. Would you start Bruno? No. But Brentford forward and Tony's striking partner, Josh Da Silva, returned last week and he caused us a problem. He did. I didn't know Josh Da Silva was back. I was a big fan of him in the Championship and he was man of the match, rightly so. Scored the goal against us last season in the Cup. Just been injured all season, so it's been a bit harsh on him. He's been a big part of Brentford's ability going forward and how they've come into the Premier League. But I don't know if he's played a minute yet. I know he's just come back from fitness. I'm not sure if he's had any sub appearances or whatever. But yeah, I am a little bit worried if Josh Da Silva is coming back, but not too much. Don't think Tony will play, so I'm not too bothered. I still think we're the better team, better form, better mentality, and seemingly a little bit more to play for as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I'm not too worried. I think we need to bring Bruno on earlier now, like the 60th minute. Could do, but It depends on how the game's going. I think I said this last week as well. There you go. Get out of the bin, you scruff. You can't pre-predict subs. They're there to help the team. Like, you can't go into a game thinking, oh, I'm going to make this sub on this minute. It doesn't work like that. Coaching doesn't work like that. You've got to assess how things are. If things need a change, like any unexpected like red cards or injuries, or someone might be just having an off day, and then, yeah, get them off, bring somebody else in, see what else they can do. Why are you... Oh, fuck's sake. This dog. Come here. Little twat. Yeah, so you can't pre-predict things. Come on. Come on. There's the pooch. Come on. Yeah, you can't pre-predict substitutions. Prick. You're making us forget what I'm saying, man. I'm talking about Bruno. He's Brazilian, you know. Yeah, big Bruno. Yeah, can't pre-predict the substitutions. It's up to Eddie Howe. See how things is going during the game and make the decision when we need to. Doubt Howe would dare play Saint-Maximin. I don't know. I think he might dare, but it's really not worth it. Like I say, what happened with Kieran Trippier, he came into the doubt. He came into the last game as a doubt. It was going to be a late decision, so surprising to see him in the starting lineup. But yeah, I wouldn't really risk him, not when we've got the congested fixture coming up next month. Trippier did win us that game, though. Don't know which game you're referring to. Erickson is still a worry if he starts. Erickson is still a worry if he starts and comes on. He'd been playing behind closed doors. He played Tuesday and came away with 2 winning assists. I did see that, actually. Yeah, I did see him put a good ball through. Yeah, he is an elite player. Hopefully for him and hopefully for Brentford going forward. Not tomorrow. I do want to see Christian Erickson get back to form. I think he deserves it after everything that happened. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Feeling confident, hoping Chris Wood finally gets his goal. Yes, me too, because that will change things up for him, I believe. He's doing all the hard work and he's been getting so much stick. It annoys me a little bit how much stick he's been getting. Yes, he's a £25 million striker. His job is to score goals and he's not doing it. But unfortunately, we haven't got no other better options other than Dwight Gale. But I feel like Chris Wood's doing the hard work and he's been part of, so far, of an unbeaten team. Like, how many games has he played now? Like, how many games has he been a part of? Leeds, Everton. Who else did we play? Play a few games, and like, he's been a part of it. So I'm not concerned at all. I think he's been doing the hard work. He's been grafting. It's just the goal that he's missing. Like I said about Willock, he's been knocking on the door. Once he gets a goal, bit more confidence, he'll be flying. So yeah, I'm not worried about Chris Wood. I think he will get his goal eventually, hopefully tomorrow. And then he'll be soaring. I think we'll win either 2 or 3-1. Make sure that everybody else gets your score predictions and lineup predictions in as well. Yep, talking about Bruno. Does need to wait his turn. These 3, Jolie, Anshavi, Willock, are different now. Plus, can't drop Willock after last week. Just when he's got his confidence back and his first goal. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, Willock's confidence is huge. Like, we know how big of a player he was for us last season while he was on loan. Pretty much single-handedly kept us up with them 7 goals in 7 games. He has had an awful season. Like, he has been dreadful, to be honest. But the last few weeks, thanks starting from that Leeds game, which I think was Chris Wood's debut as well, just gone better and better and better. And then that goal, like I say, sky could be the limit once you get that goal and get a bit of confidence in you. So yeah, Willock completely undroppable now, just as Shelby is, just as Joe Limpton is. I think most people think the same, want him to play, but don't really want to change the midfield. Yeah, on about Bruno again. Hope we get a pen and Wood steps up and bury it. That could be a good way. Yeah, any goal's a goal. Doesn't matter if it's a tap in, a penalty, or a screamer from 45 yards. A goal's a goal. And once he rustles the net wearing a Newcastle shirt, you think his confidence will go sky high. Howe can't really drop anyone. He'd be going against his own philosophy. Yeah. Josh De Silva started last week and he was subbed off in the 68th minute. Was that his first game? Yeah, first game back since his injury. He started, did he? Oh, so he got a good 68 minutes on his return. That's interesting. Hi to all. You don't change what's not broken. The team is playing well. Completely agree. Wouldn't be that concerned without Erickson having a big impact on the game. We are very physical and it will be tough for him to get into a rhythm. Yeah, agree with that. ASM wasn't in the last game, just like Bruno, not needed. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Yeah. Tune win. Hope Erickson is very well and doing fantastic. But if he's in the squad, glad to hear Fraser is fit. Manquillo just not there. Next game, same as Saint-Maximin. So without further ado, going to stop my waffle. Going to go into my lineup prediction, which is why you're all here, I'm sure. And again, I'm going to cut the waffle. I'm not going to take too long on it. Just going to jump straight into it because it is easy. Like everybody's been saying in the comments, you don't change a winning team. So I'm not going to. There you are. Simple as that. Couple of maybe surprises, so we'll go through it bit by bit. Obviously, Dubravka isn't going to change at all. And the back line, that basically needs the most discussion. Maybe the front three as well. We'll chat about midfield and goalkeeper. I don't think we really need to get into. In fact, midfield I already have done. So if you've just tuned in, rewind it. But the back line, Kraft, I'll start with, as he is the scapegoat, basically. Everybody's favorite hatred. Everybody has to be one. I think among the Newcastle fan base, we'll always have to have someone to hate. It's always been Joe Linton or it's always someone else. Now Joe Linton's in good form and Kraft's the easy one to bully. But his performances have been all right, like not great. I know I back him up pretty much every week. It's just because I don't really like to put anyone down when I think they're doing all right. But yeah, Kraft, he's not the greatest player. We could obviously do better. We'll have Manquillo and Trippier. So when everyone's back and healthy, he's third choice, basically, isn't he? So just there's nothing we can do about it. I'd love Manquillo to be fit. Obviously, Eddie Howe says that he could be. He's not 100%, but he's certainly there or thereabouts. So we may well see Manquillo start. But it's the same reason that I've already previously mentioned. Same reason why I haven't got Saint-Maximin in. If there's any doubt, just the same reason why Trippier probably shouldn't have started that last game. Don't play them. Don't risk anybody who isn't 100% fit in a game that is winnable. Like that same back line, what immense against West Ham. Like I say, West Ham are fifth, pushing for fourth. They're a top fucking 4-6 team. And we bossed them defensively. I think we were great first half. I think Kraft may well have been the weak link. But I don't think Brentford are as good attacking a team as what West Ham are. So I'm more than happy. Target and Burn, as Eddie Howe mentioned, on that left-hand side are absolutely immense. So that keeps Lascelles on the bench. Haven't got room for the leader when Shaw and Burn are in such good form. So sorry, Jamal, but you ain't getting in just yet. And that's pretty much all that you really need to talk about. And it's Target, number one left back from here on out. Hopefully next season too. I'd love to see we make that deal permanent. Kraft is the only available right back without risking Javier Manquillo. And Sharon Byrne, 2 games, only 1 goal conceded. Outstanding. Really, really good form. So Lascelles stays on the bench. Midfield 3, already discussed. Chris Wood, already discussed. Haven't got another striker other than Dwight Gale available, but he's been doing the hard work. He's been doing the graft. Performances have been decent, just missing a goal. So wouldn't dare drop him just in case there is an opportunity for him to get that goal. Then sky's the limit. I think he can push on and have a really, really good season after that. And has got a very good record against promoted teams. I can't remember the stat exactly, but I think it's like 9 goals in 12, I think it is, against teams promoted. And he already scored against Brentford earlier on this season for Burnley. So hopefully tomorrow is the day he gets his first goal. Ryan Fraser does look to be fit. Eddie Howe did say he will be okay. So it looks like he will be fine, which is great news. So hopefully we don't need to change anything more, because without Saint-Maximin there, would worry. Might have to bring Almiron or someone else in. I've seen a lot of predictions where people are saying push Joey out onto the left and bring Bruno in, but Joey's a centre mid, nothing else. He had opportunities on the left-hand side where he was much, much better than he was, obviously, as a striker, because he's not a fucking striker in a million years. But putting him in centre mid is just a different level altogether. Like, I don't mind seeing Joelinton out on the left or the right, but to be honest, he's a centre mid all day, every day. So don't really see the point in changing anything there if we don't need to, obviously depending on Fraser's fitness. Sorry, it's the dog again. Little twat. And Jacob Murphy. Always good backup, really. Always does decent in the team. This dog. Yeah, a bit of an unsung hero, I think. Like, obviously, not a starter, not when everyone's fit and healthy, not when Saint-Maximin's available, or anyone else for that matter. But good squad rotation player, comes in, does a job. Decent job he done on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Again, yeah, Saturday against West Ham. Yeah, every time that I've seen him so far this season, hit the post. Was that in against Everton? Could have made it 4-1 late on. Yeah, good player, Jacob Murphy. I think he's a bit underrated and a bit maybe he's underappreciated. Obviously, we want Saint-Maximin in ahead of him, but if not fit, not available, then don't worry about that. Keep the side that played West Ham. Not worried about that in the slightest. So with the starting 11 being unchanged, it does make the bench a little bit more interesting. And I think it may look like this. So hopefully being the key word, hopefully, Manquillo and Saint-Maximin will both be available to make the bench. And if we do need them for any reason whatsoever, they could be available to come on. Like I said, hopefully not. Hopefully we do have the game out of sight. If it's kind of like the Everton game, we are 3-1 up with a few minutes left to go. Don't bother bringing Saint-Maximin on. Don't risk that injury. Same as Manquillo. Only bring Manquillo on if there's an issue with Manquillo. Not Manquillo. Bring Manquillo on if there's any issues with Kraft or Target. And then I haven't got a problem with that whatsoever. Left or right, I like Manquillo as a left back and a right back. So, yeah, keep him on the bench, keep him fresh for as long as possible. Lascelles obviously dropped to the bench because we don't really need him. Dan Burn doing a very good job, as is Fabian Schär. And I have dropped Federico Fernandez, as we have got Manquillo and Saint-Maximin there. Like I say, I don't know whether they're going to be fit enough to make the bench or not, but there's two players that's dropping out from the substitutes bench that was named against West Ham, and that is Federico Fernandez and young Lucas de Ball. Fernandez, because I feel like he was only really put in there to make up the numbers. Him and or Dummett, to be honest. Don't really know if either of them are fully fit yet, but I think Dummett more so than anyone. He has been on the bench for a good few weeks now. But yeah, Fernandez has been clawing back his fitness. And yeah, just obviously hasn't really had much game time recently. So yeah, Fernandez will have to maybe drop out just to give him another week to maybe prove his fitness. And when he is back, that gives Eddie another great headache. More centre-back options just to cover for anything that may hopefully never happen to Schär and Burn. So we've got Dummett there, Longstaff, Bruno, as previously mentioned, Almiron, and Gale. So that's my team there then, guys. Let me know what users thinking. Get your comments in. Let's have a look. Why can't I scroll? There, am I scrolling? There we are. We're scrolling. Let's see. Where did I last leave off? There. Don't think Erickson is going to affect the game like everyone is predicting. Our midfield is in great form, and Joelinton has been excellent, getting back and putting in a challenge. Yep, yeah, hopefully we can keep Christian Erickson quiet if he does play. I hope Manquillo is fit. I hate watching Kraft. Well, we've done all right with him so far, haven't we? So I think we will stick with him. I'd like to say Manquillo, hopefully, like Eddie Howe says, like he could be available, and if he is, I'd love to see him play. But as I have previously mentioned, if he's not 100%, I think the back line is good enough to get the win against Brentford. That's the important thing. 3 points on the board. Whether it's an outstanding Galactico performance, Brazil from 1990, I don't really give a shit that much, to be honest. Obviously, you want to say a good performance, but 3 points is what's important. So if we're done that well against a top 4 fighting side in West Ham, we can definitely do it against a team who's now currently or will be in a relegation scrap if we get the 3 points. So I don't mind playing Kraft ahead of Manquillo, obviously, if he's not 100% fit. Keith's lineup prediction there is Dubravka, Kraft, Sharburn, Target, Murphy, Joe Linton, and John Joe Shelby in midfield with Willock, Fraser, and Wood in attack. That's exactly what I've got, but why have you put Murphy in midfield and Willock forward? That doesn't make sense, but that's your prediction. That's fine. If Thomas Frank brings on Christian Erickson, that's when Eddie needs to bring on Bruno. That is good, actually. I like that because Erickson will still control a game, and we careful have any tired legs when he's playing. Yep, that is a good point. Yep. When the fantastic weather manager was at the Toon, we didn't like to play any team, but now under Eddie Howe, other teams don't want to play us. Okay. Already read that one. Murphy is as close as we come to a Saint-Maximin like for replacement, can dribble and cause chaos. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, obviously, it is chalk and cheese like that. They're not alike, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, like Murphy has got pace. He's a great winger. Not as much as an attacker as what Saint-Maximin is, but he's got a great delivery. Good on the ball. I think it's a good old traditional winger. He'd do well in a 4-4-2. Instead of playing in a 4-3-3, it's like a right forward. I think he'd be a great old school right mid, like an old school kind of David Beckham type. Before the game got fancy and we moved away from 4-4-2, I still like a good old shithouse 4-4-2. I'm old school, and I think Murphy would be a perfect right mid. But yeah, I think I agree. Who else we got? Miggy isn't a winger, soft as piss. Gets scared when on the ball. Pace is all he's really got. And other than that, obviously we've got Fraser, who's in the starting lineup. Joey isn't really a winger. Willock isn't a winger. So, yeah, Murphy is the best option that we'll have to replace Saint-Maximin, I think, yeah. Kungle Fox reckons Manquillo will start. I hope so. I do hope you're right. Do you think Saint-Maximin will be back in the starting lineup for game week 28 or 29? Yeah, I probably do. When is that? And who actually even have we got? I haven't even really looked too far ahead. After that, we have Brighton on the 5th of March. So, yeah, I hope he's back. Home game against Brighton. And then after that is when we've got the midweek game. Yeah, so after this week, we have got a congested fixture. So, yeah, Brighton at home on the 5th. Southampton away on the 10th. Chelsea away on the 13th. And is it Everton away on the 7th? So all away as well, apart from Brighton at home. Once we play Brighton at home next week, we've got 3 away games in the space of a week. So, yeah, hopefully Saint-Maximin will be back. He's got to. We need to rotate the team. This is where the squad depth will come into play. This is where Bruno probably will get a chance, where we might have to rotate the likes of Manquillo and Kraft and Sharburn, Lascelles. That's where Fernandez might get bled back into the team somehow. Almiron might get a few more game times. Might see a bit more of Gale coming off the bench. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, hopefully Saint-Maximin will be back available for that. Drop Shelby gets tired and readable after one half. Willock only plays one half, so interchangeable. I wouldn't say it's worth dropping. Yeah, Shelby's energy levels might not be there, but that's when you make the change. Wait until he gets tired. Give it an hour, 60, 65 minutes. Then we've got Bruno. And if Willock does only play one half, then Willock only plays one half. So interchange these two. I don't know. Maybe going forward, like I say, maybe it's after this week where we do have a bit of a congested fixture. That might be feasible. You might want to bring Bruno in for... yeah, I think Willock does often perform better in the second half, to be fair, and Shelby in the first one. So I agree with what you're saying. So yeah, maybe he's next week. Maybe he's after that, is it did I say it was Southampton midweek? Or yeah, I think it's Southampton in the midweek game after Brighton. So that I think would be good tactics. Maybe to start Bruno for the first time in that game. Bruno, Shelvey, and Joelinton. So we've got Willock there for fresh legs to come on for a tired Shelvey or one of the others. I like it. Yeah, I can say that. So basically, yes, exactly what I'm thinking. Burnley are the good old shithouse 4-4-2 team still going around today. Back in the 90s, 4-4-2 every week, every game, every performance. Love a 4-4-2. Burnley would be class for Murphy, but he's here for now, and I like him as for squad depth. I like the rotation for Murphy, cup games. He's not going to Burnley. Fuck you, Burnley. We're keeping him. I do like Murphy. I thought he did well against West Ham. Wouldn't mind him starting again. Yep, me either. Play Willock for Saint-Maximin there. See, everyone's so determined to get Bruno into the team. You're willing to change things up. You're going to put players out of position. Why put Willock on the wing? It just doesn't make sense. Like I've seen, like I mentioned, like Joelinton playing there as well. Like we all know now, Joelinton's a centre mid. He's not a striker. He's an okay on the outside. When Eddie Howe first came in, actually it was the Brentford game. He scored the goal, didn't he? I thought he had a really, really good game in that game, and I think for the few games after that, until Eddie Howe sussed that, wow, this guy is actually a mint centre mid. That was the best position for him, like right or left hand side with Maxi on the other. And at the time, Callum Wilson up top. But nah, I'm not playing Willock out wide. Like, nah, fuck that. We don't need to force Bruno in just yet. So keep Willock in centre mid where he belongs with Joelinton until we need to make a change. Right now, we don't need to make that. As previously mentioned, Murphy's doing well. Keep Murphy in on the wing because he is a winger. I was watching Toon Review and they said it's a possibility Bruno starts and Joelinton starts on the left with Maxi missing. That's their opinion. It is a possibility, but I can't say it myself. Not sure it's a good idea, though, with how good Joelinton's been in midfield, and we need him versus Norgard. Saw Shelvey on the TV fighting some guy with a scar on his head. Really? Where the fuck's that come from? I ain't seen that. Bruno for Shelvey is the swap. No, it's not. Looked at Willock, and he played full games last 4, so why the thought on only half-time? I don't know, but that's enough for me. Thank you very much for your interaction, guys. Going to put my team up on for one last time. Unchanged team from the team that drew 1-1 away to West Ham last Saturday. Thanks very much to everyone for tuning in, interacting along, and for those that have subscribed. If you haven't, why haven't you? Subscribe right now, please and thanks. That would be most appreciated. Make sure to like the video too. If you're watching after the live, make sure to get your comments in the box below with your lineup prediction and your score prediction. I'm going to go for a big, sexy 3-1 win for Newcastle. Oh, that's ambitious. Am I going 3-1? Fuck it, I'm going for 3-1. 3-1 Newcastle away to Burnley. Not Burnley because we haven't played them yet. That's the last game of the season. Brentford is what I would like to make that 3-1 prediction on. So make sure you get yours in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV. Come back tomorrow after the game where we will be discussing the game. Big Renty will be back with his lineup, with his post-match reaction. He's over on the Don Robbie channel doing his thing, so make sure you tune into that as well, as we won't have any live in-game content. So come back afterwards. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Enjoy yourself.